Our topic for our training and development project is how to train a multinational group.
Have you ever experienced grading someone from a different country? Could you imagine working on a multinational team with that person? It may seem challenging, but it can actually be very rewarding.
Our main objectives: the growing trend of internationalization, issues related to global training and development, how to successfully train virtually and global teams, best practices for leading a global team. Internationalization, a trend where organizations operate beyond national boundaries.
Some reasons that organizations choose to globalize include e-commerce, new technology developments, improved global education and talent. This image illustrates the global education and talent pool. When making the decision to globalize, you should consider which countries are projected to keep increasing their talents and skills. It is also crucial to do research and determine if the people from these countries have skills that are beneficial to your team's specific goals.
In these two charts here, you can see the difference in global talent pool trends between 2010 and 2020. In just 10 years, you can see a small difference in some countries. For example, the United States has shrunk by around 3%, China has increased by around 11%, and Russia and Japan have also decreased.
Culture is the characteristic way of behaving and believing that a group of people have developed over time. To create a sense of team and common culture between your multinational group, you can do so by having one large vision and mission, meeting regularly or video chatting regularly if you're working on a virtual team, setting leaders, and giving constructive feedback. These strategies will help people all get to know each other. If you find that your multinational team is not meeting its goals, the first thing to do is conduct a people analysis. You need to ask yourself, who needs this training? What business units need this training? How can employees accomplish their business objectives? And this will help give you a better sense of where to begin your training. One common finding from a people analysis indicates that some employees have a hard time working with other people from other cultures because they lack cultural awareness and sensitivity. By implementing cross-cultural training, you can improve communication gaps between your employees or clients within your multinational organization. Because understanding many diverse cultures is not an easy task, and there are so many cultures out there, it is wise to outsource this training from a company that specializes in cross-cultural training because they can really help be effective. The next kind of analysis you want to do when your multinational team is not meeting their goals is a task analysis. This involves asking, are there people within the organization who have the knowledge, skills, abilities, or competencies needed to compete in the marketplace? Questions to consider during your task analysis are, how do my employees think about their work? How are my employees influenced by their environment? What cultural experiences do my employees bring to the task? And what are they actually doing to achieve their goals? By asking this, you can better understand your employees and figure out how to train them. The last kind of analysis that needs to be conducted when your multinational team isn't meeting their goals is an organizational analysis. In this area, you consider how much money can I spend on training? Is the training important to meeting our business objectives? Some cultural issues that may arise in your multinational team include power distance, high versus low, individualism versus collectivism, and masculinity versus femininity. These are a few of the many cultural issues that you may encounter. In order to manage your multinational team, you'll have to understand the country's culture first. One of the most important dimensions of this is power distance. This is the extent to which less powerful members of institutions and organizations within a country expect and accept that power is distributed unequally. The next dimension of culture that's important to consider when you're taking your operations abroad is individualism versus collectivism, and this refers to the degree of interdependence a society maintains among its members, and this can be understood in terms of I versus we. The next cultural dimension to understand your multinational team is masculinity versus femininity, and this considers what's motivating people. Is it wanting to be the best, which is masculine, or is it what you like to do, which is feminine? Regardless of the cultures involved in your multinational team, there are questions that apply to every training program. And this is: how should training be delivered and who should deliver it? How can we design training to minimize language difference problems? Should training programs come from the headquarters, or should international employees get trained locally? And is e-learning an effective option for us? Now that you have a better understanding of the cultures involved in your team, it's important to actually develop the training tailored to these people. You want to create a sample training program, develop course materials, and conduct a run-through, which includes a pilot of the actual training program to make sure that it'll be successful and worth the investment. Your training should be developed in a way that allows it to improve international meetings, decision-making, and implementation of actions. It should also improve communication, both face-to-face and through technology, as well as increase confidence to discuss and resolve differences within the international team. Some tips for successful development include understanding and respecting cultural differences prior to starting your mission, consider language barriers, determine learning style differences, know education levels of the employees involved on the team, and ensure their transfer of training. When the time comes to implement your multinational team training, it's important to be prepared as a trainer, but it's also important to prepare your employees for the training because it is not uncommon for them to feel uncomfortable learning about different types of cultures, and they often fall into believing stereotypes about people from different cultures. When you're actually training your multinational team, it is important to help them understand that this will be a challenging experience, but it is good to challenge them to see things from a different perspective than their own. This will help them get along with their teammates and not feel so prone to stereotyping them and making assumptions about their culture. To establish trust, use communication technology, ensure that diversity is respected, understood, and appreciated, and monitor the team progress using technology. Practice team building exercises to even enhance your performance. More tips for working on a multinational team include establishing a clear email protocol, choosing appropriate team members who are the right fit with a clear leader, ensuring that the team knows all goals and objectives to stay focused, and celebrating success of meeting goals and creating a crisis plan. In addition, you should always identify ground rules for teamwork and potential barriers to collaboration, and you should have cultural mentors on board to deal with cross-cultural issues. The most important question to ask yourself when it comes to evaluating your multinational team is, should the home country manager or the host country manager be the one who evaluates the training? When it comes to evaluation of your multinational employees, you should make sure that the performance standards are clear at both the home and host country, and you should also evaluate using both soft and hard criteria so that more people from different cultures feel satisfied with the feedback, and you should also give employees frequent feedback. Evaluating your multinational teams is very important, so it's a step that you don't want to miss. It helps employees understand their own performance, and it is useful in determining who is a high potential employee, which can be useful when it comes to promotions, and it also helps determine the proper pay, assignment, and retention of employees.
Please fill out the training evaluation form according to the training that was received.